Non-essential travel updates. In this video update, we will talk about non-essential travel, according to Australian government. Please keep in mind that non-essential travel is not outlined by the government as being necessary. To travel overseas, travelers must meet one of the following requirements and provide evidence of your claims. Your travel is a direct response to the COVID-19 pandemic, which comprises offering aid. Your travel is vital to critical business trades. You obligate medical treatment that is not available or obtainable in Australia. You are required to travel on vital and unavoidable personal business. You are required to travel on sympathetic or humanitarian grounds. Your need to travel because it is in Australia's national interest. What if I need to travel back to Australia from overseas? Australian passport holders, residents, and immediate family members can return to Australia. However, it is important to check with the local authorities and the airlines first to ensure flights are still available. You must check the rules around using this mode of transport. People living in New Zealand can fly back to Australia under Safe Travel Zone. Australians living outside the country will be subject to restrictions placed by the country they are currently living in. You must check if you can legally enter a country for layover. When can those overseas fly to Australia? Tourists coming from different countries, excluding New Zealand, cannot enter Australia. Australian passport holders, residents, and immediate family members can return to Australia. However, since the rules keep changing considering the current situation, travellers must contact their nearest Australian consular service for the latest information and advice. Note that there are limited flights, and travellers will have to undergo 14-day mandatory quarantine. Will I have to quarantine if I am travelling from overseas? If you are entering Australia from overseas, you must complete a 14-day quarantine. At present, travellers are directed to a designated hotel to quarantine after you pass immigration, customs, and health checks. Passengers on mandatory quarantine flights are separated from passengers who do not need to quarantine. Travellers must quarantine at the entry point and cannot get connecting flight until the quarantine period is over. Some territories and states are not allowing travellers, so this must be considered before booking your repatriation flight. The cost of quarantining depends on the place you will enter. You may have to pay all or part of the costs associated with your isolation. Prices typically range from $1,500 to $3,000 Australian dollars per adult, and about $1,000 for each additional adult in the room. Additional children cost about $500 Australian dollars each. Travellers entering New Zealand do not have to undergo quarantine if they are travelling within the Safe Travel Zone. This is the end of today's video update. We hope you find this video useful. Don't forget to support us by subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching.